Hello everyone and welcome to the Al Arbor Rink here at the Northwell Health Ice Center on Long Island, New York. You're watching live on the LI Sports Network. Jordan DeLuciano on the call, where the Farmingdale State Rams play their first home game of the weekend, and they'll kick things off against their conference rival here in the Empire, Fairfield University. The Stags back on the island. These two teams started off their seasons couple weekends ago where the Stags came to the island, and it was Farmingdale with the 5-3 win as that puck goes out of play by today's starting goaltender, Joseph DiCanio. So Joseph DiCanio will get the nod for the Rams. Eric Dillner in net on the other end for Fairfield. But yes, Farmingdale enters today with one win in their head-to-head battle so far. That 5-3 win here on the island over the Stags as Fairfield wins the draw right off the drop. It was Brazel's shot blocked up. Farmingdale enters today 5-1-1 on the year. They go up against a Fairfield group that is 2-2. Both these teams coming off wins as Konkowski will enter offsides for Farmingdale. So I mentioned briefly the goaltenders. Let's look more into those goaltenders. Eric Dillner, the goaltender out of Madison, Connecticut. This year he is 2-2. He's played all games so far for the Stags. Has a 4.43 goals against and an .838 save percentage. He is their go-to in net as that shot rims all the way around. As out come the Stags. It'll be Sharfstein. Sharfstein poked away by the stick of Jesse Burns on the back end. And there's Burns again to intercept and flip towards center. So yes, both these teams coming off wins in their previous weekend of action. Fairfield only one game. It was a 5-4 win in overtime over Westfield State University. As that puck intercepted, thrown to the goal, stick down, and covered by DiCanio. So we took a look at Dillner. Let's take a look at Joseph DiCanio. This will be his 7th start of the year. Has started and played in all but one. He is 4-1 with a 3.33 goals against and a .901 save percentage. As Farmingdale will send that off the glass, no icing here. But the Stags, 5-4 overtime win against Westfield State University. The Stags were down 4-2 after the first and wound up tying the game with 54 seconds left in regulation as a costly turnover there. Iannella towards the net, stick down by DiCanio, and Iannella will stay with it. Iannella, one of the new faces with this Stags group, goes to William Leary, and that got a piece of the helmet of DiCanio. DeFilio, another new face here with Fairfield. Behind the net, blocker down by DiCanio, as LaChase will play behind the net. They'll be picked up by Thomas Smith, but immediately poked off by DeFilio. Heaslin battling in the corner. So 3 of the most recent Stags I mentioned during that shift, all new faces for Fairfield. As another one in Dion goes to Heaslin in the corner. Dion, the defenseman, backhand pass in front, finds a man, turnaround try, goes wide by Mandato. Dion, shot to the point, deflected again. Mandato in front, but DiCanio gloves it down. So a quick start for Fairfield on the road, spending this first almost 3 minutes in the offensive zone. But the Stags were looking defeat in the face. Had that game-tying goal with under a minute against Westfield State. And then an overtime winning goal by Brendan Burke with 11 seconds left. They were looking at a tie, so they went from looking at a loss to looking at a tie. And then they look at a win as they sit at 2-2 on the year. It'll be Kravitz behind his own cage for the Rams. Finds Minio, who's back in the lineup after missing the last 4 games with a lower body injury. Farmingdale without a veteran defender, Daniel Rotan, tonight, and without their captain, John McCann. So they will be missing their captain's production. McCann this year in 6 games, 2 goals. As that faceoff won cleanly by the Stags, as Kidd looks back across, broken up by McGregor. As Minio up the middle, Finds a man in Immel. Immel will link up with Anthony Rodriguez, playing in his second collegiate game, his first at home. Picked up a goal in his first collegiate game in the 9-3 win last weekend against Delaware. So that's where Farmingdale comes off of, as that puck goes right underneath the stick of Rodriguez. As back the other way come the Stags, it's Burke. Burke drops it, finds a man in McKenna to the net, and he scores! And the quick start for Fairfield pays off. It's 1-0. So it looked like Rodriguez in the offensive zone had a chance to intercept that puck. It goes underneath the stick. And it leads to a 3-on-2 the other way for the Stags as McKenna beats DeCanio for the 1-0 lead, as McKenna will get his first goal in the year. So Farmingdale comes in today after a convincing weekend sweep on the road. 5-1 against Delaware and then 9-3 the next night. But coming in a little slow in this opening 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Fairfield's been strong in the offensive zone. Easy entries, as we saw in that 3-on-2 right there. Great drop there by Brendan Burke to set up McKenna. Got way too in deep. As O'Donnell will win that back, and they throw it right to the blue line, gloved down by Maji Capre. And here comes Lorico. So Lorico was one of 2 Rams last weekend that had a hat trick. Lorico, 4 goals in Game 2, helping out a 4-goal, 4-assist weekend. And his line mate, Sean O'Donnell, a 3-goal, 3-assist weekend. Those 3 goals coming in a Game 1 hat trick. So an offensive zone draw for the Rams. They got Duffy lined up behind, but they didn't win the draw. As that's laced around the boards. Alessi to the net, broken up. And back the other way, it'll be Brazel. Aiden Brazel all by himself. DeCanio will stick that aside. He'll head off. And O'Donnell trying to dance his way out of the corner, turns it over wide open in the slot. Was Zach Lee pinching in, but it was broken up by a sea of sticks. Ionella on the chase down low. Coming from Manasquan High School. From Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Also played with the New Jersey 87s, 18 under AAA team. As Fairfield's offside, so Andrew Clark has to come back and touch up. Lorico goes behind Keller. Keller, who picked up his first 2 collegiate goals in that weekend sweep against Delaware. That puck, should I say, pinballs around. Konkowski throws a body, helped out by Keller. Behind the net, Bridgewood. Bridgewood trying to dance around. Keller in front, Konkowski can't put it home, and the net will come off its moorings. So you got 2 Rams out there right now. The big guy, Bridgewood, and Konkowski, the lone 2 Rams that have points in every single game this year. Bridgewood has 1 assist in each of his last 3 games, and Konkowski had an explosive 4 goals against Binghamton 2 weekends ago in Game 1. And that was a loss. So the last time the Rams were home was a loss and a tie against Binghamton. Bridgewood behind the net with Keller. 2-man scrum. Bridgewood, the big body down low, comes out with it off the stick of Mascaro. Angelo Mascaro, first year player of Holtzville, New York. Picked up his first collegiate point last weekend with an assist. And chasing after her own shot is Ionella. DeFilio behind the net, taking a stick check from McGregor. And back the other way will be Konkowski by himself. The forward's going for a change. Konkowski coughs it up. Good play there by William Leary at his own blue line. Gronkowski still out there. He'll battle with Leary again. Both men anticipating a hit, and neither man laid the hit. Kravitz, the defender, pinching it down low in front off a skate off the side of the net, and around the boards it goes. Leary will wrap it right to where it started, where McGregor will tangle on the boards with Heaslin, and that looks like an icing against Fairfield. So for Farmingdale, after spending the opening minutes in their own zone and letting up the opening goal, that line of Bridgewood, Gronkowski, and Keller, not much dangerous pucks to the net, but spending some time in the offensive zone nonetheless. So it's baby steps right now for Farmingdale after the slow start. Fairfield started off shot out of a cannon, and a perfectly executed odd man rush led to a goal. Signoretti gets in front of that one, trying to get to the loose puck. Will pass in front, sticked away. It's Kravitz, and he scores! Jacob Kravitz pitching in from the blue line, gets it right back. We're tied at 1. So Jacob Kravitz, not known much for his goal scoring and his offensive production, known for mainly his defensive side of being a defenseman, but Kravitz gets the Rams on the board after the slow start. Came into today with his 8th game, his first goal, 1 assist for the defenseman out of Smithtown, New York. A big hit on the blue line, a collision, and it's going to be a penalty coming up against Fairfield on an elbow. It'll be against Matthew Dion. So Farmingdale trying to go back-to-back here and take the lead. Farmingdale, a team that averages 5.4 goals a game, and they let up 3.3. Fairfield, the number is not in their favor. Fairfield scores 3.8 a game, so that's a good number per game to score as Lorico shot blocked down, but the Stags are letting up 4.5 per game. So the Rams will send out O'Donnell, Devine, McGregor, Duffy, and Lorico. McGregor at a 5-assist weekend against Delaware, has 1 goal, 8 assists on the year. On the dot for the Stags, Casey Kelly. Majina Capre going to work in the corner. Kelly will send that down, but it looked like it hit off. Well, they're whistling it down for hitting off either a Stag on the bench or the inside of the Fairfield bench, but the Fairfield bench is protesting that call right now. When it happened live, it did not look like it went off a Stag on the bench or inside of the bench. It looked like that went off the glass. It looked like a normal play, but nonetheless, it'll be an offensive zone draw again. Fairfield wins it, and this time they send it down. It'll be Lorico, touch pass, cross ice, finds Duffy, looks to the net, dragging towards the middle, poked away. As we played down by McGregor, he looks, he holds, he goes to Lorico. Lorico, cross ice, finds O'Donnell, but he got hand-tied and has to peel off. Lorico, McGregor. It'll be O'Donnell now. 1:10 left on the man advantage to Devine. O'Donnell at the blue line. Devine in the corner, going to Duffy, nobody home, and he'll come out of the zone. Fairfield will get a change, get some fresh bodies out there. Majina Capre still out there, the captain for Fairfield. A nice stick there on the boards by Brendan Burke. Short-handed towards the net, punched away by DeCanio. And Malawepsi will send that all the way down to his own end. Fairfield bench wants an icing, but they didn't know Malawepsi, their own man, send it down. Usually you'll see Ned Malawepsi donning Fairfield, so Farmingdale will just give it to them. And now for 17 seconds, there'll be a 5-on-3 for the Rams. So it was the aforementioned Ned Malawepsi for hooking. So Farmingdale with a little bit more of open space, 5-on-3 for 17 seconds. At the dot for Fairfield, they'll have Robert Sharpstein. And Farmingdale comes alive with it, but comes out of the zone. So exiting the box will be Matthew Dion in 4 seconds, so we'll go quickly back to 5-on-4. But now it's Konkowski, walks in, fires, and he misses on the blocker. Signa ready now, 5-on-4 for now a minute 36 and counting. To Alessi, Konkowski. Konkowski goes cross, ice, broken up. As Brazel will exit by himself. Brazel with speed, might have a step wrister on goal. Stopped by DeCanio, but we keep going. As Alessi throws a body behind the play, but we play on. Konkowski, nifty move there to get away from Brazel, and another to get away from Sharpstein. Shot blocked down in front, and cleared out again by Fairfield. McGregor into 2 black jerseys. Nobody picks it up as Chase McKenna whiffs on the chop. Ivers tangled with McKenna. Around the boards, Konkowski still out there for the Rams. Konkowski lost it on the toe drag, helped out by McGregor, and goes back to him. It'll be Ivers, 30 on the man advantage. Konkowski, goal line try off the side of the net, and a whistle down, the net off its moorings. So Farmingdale will get a fresh 5 out there. Fairfield 28 seconds away from killing off back-to-back penalties, and Malawepsi will exit. Ned Malawepsi was the hero last year in the Empire Conference Championship game where Fairfield scored a game-tying goal with the net empty with under a minute left to send it to overtime against Farmingdale, and Malawepsi won it in the extra frame as the net's off its moorings again. Iannella and Quinones having some words coming off the boards. So Fairfield last year in that Empire Conference Championship game was able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat from Farmingdale. Both these teams went on to play at Nationals. Fairfield was eliminated in pool play. Farmingdale went on to the semifinals, lost to Buffalo. Farmingdale is offsides. Fairfield will send that down, and that'll just about do it. So Farmingdale had some offensive zone time, good puck movement. Not much danger, though. Those prime scoring opportunities were not quite there for Farmingdale. The best chance was Konkowski missing on the blocker side. So back-to-back kills for the Stags, as DeCanio has to come out for that one. And now it's Duffy. Duffy will walk in. Go forehand to backhand. Good reach on the poke there by Zach Lee. Duffy still with it, pad save, and surprise, surprise, the net is off. So we might have to do something about this net. As you see the official just jamming the post into its peg. And it's not, Dillner, it's not his fault. He's doing nothing wrong. It's just the net's not properly secured in place. They got the ice on the goal line, they're trying to get it to freeze more, so the pegs stay in place. Puck goes all the way around the boards. First on it will be Iannella with McGregor on him. Iannella out of the corner, gets some much more breathing room, and a save made by DeCanio. So 8:02 left in the opening period in Farmingdale's first game of this weekend. So usually you'll see a back-to-back between teams. So you would usually see Farmingdale and Fairfield play again tomorrow night, but the Rams will play against Sacred Heart tomorrow. I believe that might be the first meeting ever, or in recent memory at least, between Farmingdale and Sacred Heart as Dillner bobbles one in front. Minio will send that around the boards. Playing it down as McGregor to Minio. Minio tries to go across the blue line, intercepted by Cullen, and the Rams will send it back in. Immel at the blue line. Will bank that off the boards. Played down by McKenna. He'll go D to Dion. So a lot of new faces for this Fairfield group. Mentioned that one shift alone, but hold that thought. Down low, Minio, and a great poke check by Dillner. Minio had a wide open cage. Dillner stayed with him the entire way and got the poke check. As Cullen, tough angled shot, will throw down Keller in the process. Throw down him legally. It was a good reverse hit there by Brendan Cullen. Burns got to watch his back, trying to pickpocket him as Sharfstein. Able to catch up, but an errant pass there. Sharfstein again, all over it. Glove down by Brazo, puck alive, poked away by Burns. Got a mouth guard down on the goal line right now. There's that one off the leg of Konkowski. Konkowski will walk in, the Rams' leading point producer, and that's glove down by Dillner. So Konkowski for the Rams, we mentioned how he had 4 goals in game 1 against Binghamton 2 weekends ago. He has a point in every game, 7 goals, 6 assists for 13 points on the year for the freshman out of Holtzville, New York. Mentioned how Fairfield has a couple new faces, as does Farmingdale. Fairfield has that one forward line of all fresh bodies, new freshmen. Mentioned on the back end, number 26, Matthew Dion, out of Marshfield, Massachusetts. Then they got their veterans, as we have a hand pass here. Magina Capra on the back end. Brendan Burke, Ned Malawepsi, just to name a few. Eric Dillner. These games always tend to get interesting regardless of the score. It was a 5-1 game. The first time these two teams met up earlier in the season. We're still early, but in the first weekend of the year for Farmingdale and Fairfield, it was a 5-1 Rams lead in the third, and the Rams wound up holding on 5-3 in that game. As Magina Capra keeps that in, throws wide of the cage. Nice move by Sharfstein on the goal line, but can't keep it in front of him. As out will come Bridgewood. Bridgewood gonna power his way in. Good stick by Magina Capra to slow down the big man in black and green. Good poke there. Trying to dance free as Konkowski. Puck comes loose to Keller, and a glove save there by Dillner, but fighting that one off. McGregor. Throw that off the stick of Konkowski. No offsides or icing here as Dion. Nice spin move to get away from Ivers. But eventually coughs up on the far side boards. Turnaround pass in front off a skate. And out the other way will be DeFilio up the middle as he looks for Clark. Dion, nifty. This time gets through 3. Dion going to do it himself. Find a man in INL. INL a backdoor. Can't find Clark on the far side. INL now. Will push past McGregor. Be first on it. Backhand pass in front, broken up. He's trying to find Clark. Third time this shift. The Stags are looking for Andrew Clark. All 3 times unable to link up. Well-paced game so far. Fairfield had a very good start, very strong start. controlling the play in the offensive zone and winning faceoffs as they come back in on it. And fanning on the shot was Casey Kelly, not getting all that one. After Chase McKenna scored on that 3-on-2 off a nice drop pass by Brendan Burke, Farmingdale with a good response, getting on the board with Kravitz. Stags were able to survive back-to-back penalties and a brief 5-on-3. It's been a nice back-and-forth pace here. Farmingdale continued to push after the power play ended, but Fairfield so far were able to hold on in their own end. Dillner made a great poke check on Minio in front. If he does not land that poke check, Minio takes a 2-1 lead for the Rams. Shot by Kelly, sticked away by DeCanio, fighting off the boards there. As out will come Duffy. Duffy was the team's leading goal scorer and point producer last year, finds a man down low, and they score! Sean O'Donnell again continues his scoring outrage. It's 2-1. Play. Duffy did it all himself out of the zone and slipped it to O'Donnell going down the middle, and that's a perfect way you draw it up in practice. Center lane drive. The puck carrier comes down the wing, man goes right down the middle, drawing the defenders back. You try to find the man down the middle. If you do, he's going to get an in-tight scoring chance. That's exactly what O'Donnell does. But back the other way, quick 2-on-1 for Fairfield, backdoor, and they get it right back. It's Brandon Cullen on the tap-in, and we're even up once again at 2 apiece. So Farmingdale's lead does not last all that long. As Brandon Cullen converts on the backdoor feed, Cullen will get his second goal of the year, is now team leading 5th point on the season. Cullen with now goals in back-to-back games as another soft spot in the Farmingdale defense leads to a 6 save by DeCanio. Peeling around the zone, shot wide and a wide open net, and they score again! It's Zach Lee. The Stags go back-to-back to take the lead. So Farmingdale's defense in their own end, a little sloppy. 2 goals allowed off an odd man rush. Another fast break for Fairfield leads to another Fairfield goal. A shot that was perfectly placed off the end boards. Zach Lee puts home another wide open net for the Stags. So it's rapid fire we go. As they look for a man in the slot, wide open there was Brazel. So Farmingdale, they got to try to get to this intermission down 1 at worst, and they got to fix that defensive zone. Too many mental lapses, guys wide open, and controlling that Fairfield forecheck. Too many odd man rushes and too many red jerseys finding wide open space as those red jerseys go off sides. So we just had 3 goals. So O'Donnell scores with 3 minutes and 1 second left. Cullen answers with 2:47 left, and Zach Lee answers with 2:19 left. So 3 total goals in less than a minute for Fairfield and Farmingdale. So Zach Lee will get the goal. Brendan Cullen will get the assist on now the game-leading goal. So Cullen with back-to-back points. And how's this for an interesting stat? So Brendan Cullen ties the game at 2. assisted by who? Zach Lee. Who takes the lead? Zach Lee, assisted by who? Brendan Cohen. As Alessi gets back-to-back tries there, both of them blocked, as we're under a minute left in this opening wild first period. As another odd man rush ensuing here for Fairfield if they move. Great back check there by O'Donnell. And now it's Ivers to walk in, wrister blocked down, loose puck O'Donnell. O'Donnell goes cross ice. Burns plays it, the defenseman. He'll go to the blue line. Now O'Donnell in front, finds a man, Lorico, and a stick save by Dillner. Farmingdale trying to press late, and another break here. It looks like a breakaway, maybe a 2-on-1 for the Stags. Toe drag, and it's blocked by Burns. 15 left in the period. A loose puck at the top of the circle. DeFilio shot his block. 3-on-2. Under 10 left in the period. Alessi can't get it to Lorico. They'll send it down with 4. It's Smith now winding and firing wide, and that will do it. So everyone, including myself, can catch our breaths as the final minute was hectic. The entire 20 was hectic as the Stags once looked at the scoreboard down 2-1, and less than a minute later, they're up 1. It's a 3-2 lead for Fairfield. So Farmingdale took the first meeting of the season, in the first weekend of the season between these two teams, a 5-3 win. Fairfield looking to even the season record at 1 apiece. They got 2 more periods to do it, but off to a good start right now, up 3-2. Both these teams got to go into intermission and clean up that defensive zone. We're going to step aside live on the LI Sports Network when we return. Second period puck drop. Welcome back, everyone, to the Al Arbor Rink here at the Northwell Health Ice Center on Long Island, New York. You're watching along live on the LI Sports Network. Jordan DeLuciano here on the call, and we're moments away from second period puck drop, where the Fairfield University Stags hold a 3-2 lead over Farmingdale State. So Fairfield struck quick after a quick start. It was Chase McKenna with the 1-0 lead. And then Farmingdale was able to come back with two straight, but their 2-1 lead did not last for long. Less than a minute after Farmingdale took a 2-1 lead, Fairfield took a 3-2 lead. It was Brendan Cullen, the game-tying goal, and Zach Lee right now has the leading goal. Farmingdale has to clean up not just defensive zone, but neutral zone defense as well. It was way too easy for Fairfield to come up through the neutral zone, and a lot of odd man rushes as Konkowski, big collision there with Chase McKenna. So Chase McKenna held his ground, played that cleanly, but I think eventually one too many hits there. He's got a penalty coming up as Bridgewood will fire one, and a pad save by Dillner. So I think this is going to be on McKenna for interference. He just stuck with Konkowski a little bit too long there. The initial contact was a clean, it was a very good play by McKenna. He played the body, kept the arms down, but then he just stuck with it too long. He wound up driving Konkowski to the boards. The hands started coming up, and that's where you sit for 2 minutes for interference. Farmingdale will go to their third power play of the day. Fairfield has none so far. Fairfield killed both power plays off. It was back-to-back. Farmingdale had a brief 17-second 5-on-3 in the process. Right now on the board they have two penalties, but that's a mistake. There's only one, just McKenna's in the box. As Konkowski will take it himself end-to-end, still going with the toe drag, wrap it on the backhand, and he got stifled by Zach Lee. Alessi will take it from the blue line, go back to Signoretti. Signoretti, Alessi, center point, plays catch with number 86 on the far side. Signoretti, center point, Alessi, near side Ivers. Ivers looks, goes across, broken up by Lee. He was all over that one-timing pass. Ivers. Now Ivers going to go end-to-end. Lee for Konkowski. Konkowski takes a whack, stays going, and then gives it right to the man he took the whack from, and Kelly. So under a minute left on the man advantage now. Fairfield on a change. And out come the Rams. Another easy entry on the 5-on-4 for the Rams. As Alessi will take it behind the cage, look for Konkowski, broken up, and then finds him in the feet. Alessi will then poke it to him, and then take it himself. Alessi, O'Donnell was a goal today as the Rams' most recent goal. Gave him a 2-1 lead, that brief 2-1 lead. Konkowski looking for a Michigan, but couldn't scoop it. He'll circle out, wrister one, save made. Ivers couldn't get it on the backhand. Alessi to Konkowski. Konkowski again looking for a Michigan. Once again can't scoop it, and it leads to a turnover. And then Konkowski gets pulled off the ice, verbally pulled off the ice, as Fairfield kills off another penalty. 5-on-5 we go. It'll be Duffy to leave to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, wrister had a man in front in Lorico. That puck pins off some sticks. As now it'll be Thomas Smith behind his net dealing with Aiden Blake. Aiden Blake strips him, goes backhand in front to a man in Brazil. Pad save made by DeCanio. Duffy with speed, coming up the near side, winds, fires, goes right into the glass and into the netting. So same trend for Farmingdale on that power play as their previous two. Good puck movement, easy zone entries, but just puck staying on the outside. Twice the Stags tried, twice the Rams tried to go through the middle for a one-timer, whether it be near side the far side or near side to that bumper position, but both times the Stags had it red off the draw. Duffy, save made Dillner. We'll drop it again. Try to find Duffy off the draw. They get it back towards him. Too many bodies in the way. As Duffy will battle with Brazil. Get it down to O'Donnell. O'Donnell to the blue line. Smith can't keep it. And now Sharfstein with space, in alone, and a blocker save made by DeCanio. The odd man rushes and fast breaks continue to mount against this Farmingdale defense. Almost a dangerous turnover there, as if Duffy picks that one off cleanly, it could have been a breakaway. So it was on the back end, it was Smith and Mascaro. Smith lost the puck at the blue line. And Mascaro, the moment he sees his D partner lose that puck at the blue line, he's got to start making a beeline back to his own blue line. And that delay in getting back led to Brazil getting the puck to Sharfstein, and a penalty coming up for Farmingdale. So what's the Ram they're going to get here? Looks like it's going to be Anthony Rodriguez, who's playing in a second collegiate game, first at home, and he'll go for tripping. Fairfield's a team that takes a lot of penalties. It's only their fifth game. Coming into this fifth game, they've taken 28 penalties. So now they're at 31 total, but they'll go to their first power play of the day. Right off the draw, goes in front, tangled up, Minio will set it down. And in that game for Fairfield, that overtime win against Westfield State University, who represents ACHA Division II, the Stags took 11 penalties. Off the boards, coming alive with it is Malawepsi. He'll go to Zach Lee. Zach Lee has the decider right now, as William Kidd will go back to Lee. Lee looks, going cross ice, trying to find a man in Cullen, got broken up. And Burke was wide open down the middle. Luckily, that hit off of Farmingdale State for the Rams, luckily, because Burke was wide open. Again, Farmingdale's gap control in their defensive zone has been iffy, to say the least. And right now, a period in almost 5 minutes. Chase causes a turnover in the neutral zone, gets it back from Keller. Good reach on the stick by Lee. Dillner couldn't find that in his skates, as LaChase is pinned up with Brazil. LaChase, he comes free with it, unless he wants it, and he's gonna get it. Fairfield flies into the zone with Sharfstein. 20 seconds left in the man advantage. Sharfstein, who had a goal in the 5-3 loss against Farmingdale earlier this year. Shot from the point. Sharfstein right there. Good poke by DeCanio to keep Sharfstein at bay. Robert Sharfstein, one of the 4 returning top 4 point producers for the Stags last season. Power play comes to an end, scooped up by DeCanio. So for Farmingdale this year, keeping the puck out of the net has been iffy. This is now every single game except for one, they've let up at least 3 goals. The one game they did not was the 5-1 win in Game 1 last weekend against Delaware in that 2-game weekend set. In the Rams' 6-6 tie at home on October 12th, they had a 6-5 lead late in the third period against the Bearcats. There's an errant play there by Quinones. Smith will be in his own zone. Smith gets tripped down, but we play on. Smith might have just taken a spill on his own. Farmingdale had a late lead against Binghamton, 6-5, lost that lead, and then wound up tying the game. That's been a trend. Some third periods have been iffy. Smith knocked off the puck there. Pass in front, nobody home. As now will be O'Donnell. O'Donnell will drop it. Duffy, nice move there. We get around one. Duffy, backhand pass in front. Lorico couldn't find that puck on the forehand. Dillner was late to react. Right off the bench. Going to Duffy in the skates, has a man in front. Great breakup by Manji Capre. Again, Duffy looking for Lorico. So Ivers is fresh here, right off the bench. They go to the point. McGregor will peel off, gets a man to go down. McGregor wrister deflected wide. Duffy, backhand pass again in front. Once again, can't find a black jersey. Kravitz, who has a goal today. McGregor coming off a 5-assist weekend against Delaware. Duffy to Ivers. Kravitz now. Plays catch with Ivers. They'll switch off. Thomas Ivers, wrister on net, punched away by Dillner. Ivers again, gloved away by Dillner. Good shift there by Farmingdale's Duffy, Lorico, and Ivers line. Hemming the Stags in their own zone, but good back-to-back stops for Dillner in net. Shots right now in favor of Fairfield heavily, 18-8. Stags had 14 shots in the first period. They got off to a great start, not just with the score being 1-0, but with the momentum and the pace on their side. Ivers taken down off the faceoff. We play on. Big hit the blue line. As Signoretti was bodied down by Casey Kelly. That one chopped away. Heaslin. Heaslin trying to get around Alessi. Will steer that one wide. William Kidd will rip that one around. And now William Leary, shot blocked down. And a good poke there by Ivers. One-on-one the other way with Kidd in front of him. Ivers will take it wide, and tough angled shot, snagged away by Dillner. We'll see number 13 in red, William Kidd, with his third year with the group. William Kidd, the lone Stag who is from Long Island, east of Talcott. Played some hockey with Tim Duffy as well, prior to Duffy going to Farmingdale, and William Kidd going to Fairfield. Stick save Dillner, and he has to cover up again. So Dillner getting some action as of late in his own end. Keller wins the draw, aided by a Fairfield stick. That was Brendan Burke that poked it to the blue line. As Cohen collides with the ref, Konkowski trying to take advantage. Well, tough angled goal line shot, poked away. It'll be Matthew Dion now. Dion to Malawepsi. Malawepsi in front looking for Burke in his skates. And he'll come to the blue line. McKenna can't keep it, but gets a stick on it to slow down Konkowski. Bridgewood joins the rush. Konkowski wrister, 6 save. Rebound goes behind. Mascaro, shot blocked. It's now a foot race with Smith and Burke, and Smith will get there just to slow him down. But puck-free Malawepsi, save made by DeCanio. It takes some time to get used to. Malawepsi in 27 opposed to his normal 19, but like we mentioned in the first period, a couple different Stags today. He's wearing different numbers. A little bit of a predicament with their jerseys today. Clean win by the Stags there, as Zach Lee's shot blocked down. He'll come to Minnie on the near side. He'll poke up towards Devine. Timothy Devine, wrister deflected, out of play. Farmingdale now the last 5 straight shots, 3 of them by Konkowski. Wrapped around the boards, will be met by McGregor, and he's just able to keep it in, but then there's Zach Lee to help out. Another potential odd man rush. Mineo trying to get back to help out, but a great left pad save by DeCanio. It's Sharfstein and Brazil again, just like earlier in this period. Puck thrown in, deflected into the glass. It'll be Kravitz to Devine, turnover. They go to Brazil, block down, rebound, stick save to Canio. The odd man rushes becoming a problem for Farmingdale. And I believe that's now 3 of recent memory that I can remember have mounted off Farmingdale's defense, trying to keep the puck in at the offensive zone blue line. And whether it be the first attempt not getting the job done or the second attempt not getting the job done, those failures to keep the puck at the blue line has led to red jerseys getting behind them and leading to 2-on-1s, leading to 3-on-2s. So Farmingdale's defense on the offensive zone blue got to be more decisive with keeping that puck in and being more decisive on their pinches. And now here's an errant change by Farmingdale. Iannella tries to dance through and lost it on the near side as O'Donnell chops it down. Farmingdale's offsides. Farmingdale is still a relatively young defensive group. A lot of second-year players mixed with some freshmen as well. One of them, Alessi, out there right now. You have 77 Thomas Smith, who joined midway through last season. As here comes O'Donnell, looks for Duffy. Poked away by DeFilio. Wrister on net, deflected wide. Friendly fire there off Kidd. And now Lorico to Burns. Burns shot off a skate. So for Farmingdale, they have first-year player in Frank Alessi. A bunch of second-year players in Quinones, McGregor, and Burns. As they go to Alessi at the blue line, another block, gets his own rebound. Glove save by Dillner, and Burns can't keep it. They have a third-year player in Jacob Kravitz. He has the Farmingdale's first goal today. Tied the game at 1. And then their more seasoned defender, Daniel Rotan, but he's out of the lineup injured. As a shot from the slot, save made, and the rebound is put home by Duffy. Dillner made the first stop on O'Donnell. Duffy right there to put home the rebound in tight. And once again, we're tied up this time at 3. So the last time Farmingdale had this game tied at 1, they jumped out to that 2-1 lead, but did not last long. Let's see how long we can go tied now as Duffy. This line of Duffy, Lorico, and O'Donnell put together last weekend has come on strong ever since. As Duffy was the team's leading goal scorer and point producer last year, will pick up his 3rd goal of the season. Looks like Fairfield went offside. A little bit of a hesitation there by Patrick Heastland coming into the zone. So that line of Lorico, O'Donnell, and Duffy, everyone gets on the stat sheet there. As Duffy will score from O'Donnell on the shot and Lorico on the pass. As a bad pass there, wide open look, and they score. Once again, Farmingdale coughs up the tie and gives it right back to Fairfield. As it looked like, it was a fanned pass from behind the net for Farmingdale. It went right to the stick of Casey Kelly, and Kelly puts it home. Actually, with the jersey swaps, there's like 4 Fairfield players today with different jerseys. 17 today is Christopher Cummings. So Cummings will get the goal. Cummings with now goals in back-to-back games, and he gets his 4th of the year. Farmingdale, again, have to play from behind. Down 1 as they go to McGregor at the blue line. McGregor will walk in. Will now go Kravitz. Kravitz, McGregor, goes down low. Reaching for it was Konkowski, can't get it. And here comes another odd man rush for the Stags. 2-on-1. Burke finds a man up high. Wrister deflected on the block by LaChase. Now all alone. The other way, beating out the icing is Ivers. Ivers behind the net, pass in front, poking at it was Signoretti, but never made it on goal. It's Cullen now. Wrister pinballs off the legs of Burns and out of the zone. So for Cummings gets his 4th goal of the year, or should I say his 3rd goal of the year. He had 3 all of last year. So for Cummings, he ties last year's season total and now game 5. It'll be Sean O'Donnell, leads for Duffy. Duffy plays catch with O'Donnell. Duffy wants it, gets it. Puck behind him, helped out by Alessi, but it was blocked aside. Pass in front, in the feet of Duffy. Stepping in Alessi, deflected wide again. And you see right behind Alessi, trying to streak behind him, was Brazil. O'Donnell behind the net, goes to Lorico, and he scores! Michael Lorico, after a 4-goal game last weekend, gets one today, and once again, we're tied up. This has been the line for Farmingdale. O'Donnell, Lorico, and Duffy. Lorico, 4 goals last weekend. O'Donnell, 3 goals last weekend. And Duffy with a goal today. Duffy with another assist. And for Duffy last weekend, he had 2 assists to help out those 4 goals and 3 goals for his other 2 line mates. So they will actually give the assist. They have it down as Immel. Yeah, that is, they have it down as Lorico from Immel and Alessi. That should be Lorico from O'Donnell and Alessi. So they have 16 Immel, it should be 15 O'Donnell on the assist. But then the freshman Alessi continues to rack up the points. That's now his 7th assist on the year. He now has 9 points in his 8th game. Farmingdale has struggled to maintain this tie as Fairfield wins the draw. Thrown on goal, 6 save to Canio. So 2-2 or 2-1 instantly came 2-2. 2-2 instantly became 3-2. 3-3 instantly became 4-3. And now here we are at 4-4. Pass in front, Clark breaks it up. Clark stripped away, and it's a breakaway. Konkowski alone for the lead, and he just can't tuck it, but Duffy scores! Tim Duffy with the one-handed poke, helping out Konkowski. Farmingdale takes the lead, 5-4. So Konkowski tried to come back in front and drag it back in over the goal line, but the puck had some life to it. Duffy stuck with it, and Duffy gets his 2nd of the game. So it's been answers on both sides. 5-4 with just over 4 minutes left in the second. As now Dion battling with Kravitz. Dion's holding the stick there, got away with one, but we play on. And now Konkowski and Dion gonna have some words at the blue line. Puck will come around, Kyle Donnelly. It'll be Cummings. Dropped it towards Keller, so wrong jersey there. And it's Cummings. We'll drop that off of Heaslin. Heaslin. Demagina Capre. D to D. McKenna. Wrister pant save. McKenna again. Blocked McKenna again. So 3 straight shots for McKenna. 2 blocks, 1 shot on goal. Demagina Capre, 1-timer blocked. As Cummings there will float one to the net. Glove down. Heaslin throws a big body. And a whistle down for a penalty coming up against Farmingdale, I believe, for closing it. Which defender was that? Was that Kravitz or McGregor? I think they're going to get McGregor for closing his hand on the puck. And they will. Yep, you cannot close your hand down on the puck in the defensive zone. That's exactly what McGregor did. That or a carry. He did look like he caught the puck and carried it forward a little bit. So the power play will go to Fairfield, trying to tie this game. 0 for 1 so far. Second power play of the day. Capre skate save by DeCanio. And now he has no stick, but he gets it right back. Magina Capre, down low. Finds a man on the goal line, it's Cullen. Cullen will wrap that around, back to where it started. Drops to Burke, Burke wrister, and he scores! Brendan Burke on the power play, 10 total goals today, and it's 5-5. Great C&I shot there by Brendan Burke. As the scoring onslaught on both sides continue, as Burke will pick up his 4th goal of the year. Burke last year was 26 points in 26 games for the Stags, 11 goals, 15 assists. That play all started on a good wrap by Brendan Cullen. He was in a battle along the boards, more closer to the near side corner, and just wrapped that right back around to the far side where Magina Capre was. Puck came alive for Cullen, for Brendan Burke, and a power play goal. Farmingdale comes the other way looking for Signoretti, but it was stopped and held by Dillner. So nobody can maintain the lead too long here. This lead stayed a little bit longer, but not ideal. There's a pass in front, nobody home. Almost exactly 2 minutes was the lead for Farmingdale at 5-4. Looking for a man in the high spot in Zach Lee. Trying to drop. Foot race to the loose puck in neutral zone, but able to get back was Brazel. Brazel then intercepts at the blue line. 2-on-1 for Fairfield. It's Blake looking for Sharfstein. Good step by Smith. On the wraparound, it's Blake, and Fairfield bench thought it went in. Puck stays out. We play on. We have an icing arm up. We have a penalty arm up. I think they're going to give Thomas Smith the penalty here on Farmingdale, and they will for a cross check. So Smith was the one that made that play on the 2-on-1 to break up this 2-on-1 when it was Aiden Blake and Robert Sharfstein, but then I think he wound up cross-checking Sharfstein in front of the net. So the Stags will go back to the power play for the third time. They're 1 for 2. It was Brendan Burke moments ago who tied this game on the man advantage. Got a minute and 20 left in the second period. A very eventful game, high scoring. Rister on goal, gloved away off the feed, off the shot by Malawepsi. Defensive zone on both sides, been a point of contention. One minute left in this second period. Minute 23 and counting on the power play. Zach Lee will hold it on the boards. Burke will drop it, and Lee will take it. The way this game is going, if any team could establish a multiple goal lead, it'd be a tough task. As coming around the world will be Cullen. Brandon Cullen still with it, and he's going to go back for another trip to Majin Capre. They'll wait at the blue line, walk center point, go to Zach Lee. Lee with 20, Rister deflected wide, and it'll be Cullen. 15 left in the period. Cullen winds, bluffs, goes to Burke. Burke, he's got one on the power play in front, pinballs around. 5 left in the period. Burke in front, poked away. Majin Capre's shot is blocked, and that will do it for the second period. So Fairfield had the lead. Farmingdale storms back to take a 5-4 lead. Then it's Brendan Burke on the power play. 10 total goals, 5 on each side. As this game is up for grabs on either side. Defense has been a question. Too many wide open looks on both sides. Neutral zone has been an issue for Farmingdale. Defensive zone on either side, like we mentioned. But with the way we're going, it's been a sprint to the finish. One more period left to go. 5-5 game here on the island when we return. Third period puck drop. Welcome back, everyone, to Long Island, New York, live on the LI Sports Network. Jordan DeLuciano on the call. Third period puck drop. Farmingdale and Fairfield Empire conference rivals here in the AAU Division I ranks, tied up at 5. Fairfield will start the power play. Thomas Smith still sitting for now 20 seconds due to his cross-checking minor. There'll be Malowepsi behind the net off a skate. Now Cullen. Malowepsi, pass in front, nobody home, but assisted to the point by Farmingdale's Keller. Rister on goal, scooped away by DeCanio as Cullen and Kravitz have a little bit of a shove. It's been an offensive-minded game. Fairfield has a power play goal. It was Brendan Burke to tie the game at 5. Farmingdale has seen 2 leads quickly evaporate, one in less than 30 seconds, one in less than 2 minutes. As the power play ends, Smith out of the box to the bench. Back to 5-on-5 we go. Aaron breakout pass there, off a skate, Burke all over it. Pad save to Canio. That's how Fairfield got on the board again on the goal by Christopher Cummings. Farmingdale just trying to make a simple pass from their defense from behind the goal line. They wind up shanking the pass, went right to Cummings, and he wristed one over the glove of DeCanio, and that one was awfully similar. Jesse Burns gets away from Brazel. And now Lorico in front, nobody home, bouncing puck Burns, the defenseman, and here's a problem that's happening right now. Jesse Burns, the defenseman, pinching up with the forwards, nothing wrong with that, but no forward covering for him, which led to the one-on-one the other way. Has been a big reason why there's been odd man rushes. As I say it now, O'Donnell helping out his defenseman, so O'Donnell covering right now for Alessi. But a combination of neutral zone issues for the Rams today, which has been failure to cover the defensemen that are pinching in, and defensemen coughing the puck up at the offensive zone blue line, that leads to odd man rushes, and there's been a plenty of them for Fairfield today. Dion. That puck go off his glove, almost kept it in front of him. Quinones will take it up the boards, and Farmingdale will go offsides. Face-off be right out of the zone. Head coach Farmingdale, Joe Mazing, having a conversation with the officials here. Not too sure what it would be about. As that conversation comes to an end. Fairfield, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, off to a 2-2 start this year. Not an ideal start for a program that always has high aspirations. Last year, they also had a slow start as well. I believe they started 0-5 on the year. Really tough getting out of the gates for the Stags last season, but a great late season push as they, in the Empire Conference playoffs, knocked off Delaware in the first round, Quinnipiac in the semifinal second round, and then, as we talked about, Farmingdale in overtime in the championship for the Empire Conference. Fairfield, their issue now back-to-back years, has been their slow starts coming out of the gate. Farmingdale this year, an issue in keeping the pucks out of their own net. Their main goaltender this year, Joseph DeCanio. DeCanio was like a 1A, 1B situation last season with Jake Temkin, with Jake Temkin graduating, and Temkin played the bulk of the games at Nationals. It's now DeCanio's net. Backup goaltender Andrew Barron, the freshman, has only played one game. It was against Delaware last weekend. That 9-3 win. He made 30 saves in the effort. Face off won by Farmingdale, but punching right through was Heslin. And up the boards, a 3-on-2. Another odd man rush for Fairfield. Electing just to shoot that one was Cummings. Puck found its way to the front of the net. As McKenna keeps that in, all alone in front, pad save on Mendano. Mendano got free and tight, but Ticanio kicked out the left leg. Ivers tries to cut through the middle. It's too many red jerseys in the process. That puck will go into the Fairfield bench. Not only do we got the Farmingdale-Fairfield matchup here, a lot going on in the sports world as well. This is the practice arena for the New York Islanders. The Islanders win in overtime on the road in New Jersey, 4-3. And the Yankees now go into the 7th inning in Game 1 of the World Series, up 2-1 on the Los Angeles Dodgers. That all happened at once, by the way. My producer, Paul Trentini, and I, right as the second period intermission ended, we said, why not check what's going on with the Islander game and the Yankee game? As we checked, Giancarlo Stanton hit a 2-run home run to take the lead, and Bo Horvat for the Islanders scored seconds later for the Islanders. I don't know if the Rangers are playing tonight. Paul, the Rangers playing tonight? No. They played yesterday. They played against Florida, right? Yep. I'm talking to him. You guys can't hear him respond back to me, but... As we go back to the ice, Signoretti, cross-ice Kravitz, shot one wide. Kravitz started his scoring for Farmingdale. They were down 1-0 early on. It was a hot start by the Fairfield Sags. Chase McKenna made it 1-0 off what? An odd man rush, a 3-on-2. It developed in the neutral zone. And then Kravitz scored to make it 1-1. As this will be played by Minio in his own end. Usually you'll see Minio play with Lorico and O'Donnell, but with Minio missing the last, I believe, 4 straight games with a lower body injury, they started to change things up. We often saw Duffy play with Immel and Bridgewood. But now it's Duffy, Lorico, and O'Donnell. As you see out right now, Immel, Minio, and Devine. As Alessi dances around one, Alessi goes to the middle, nobody home. The Sharfstein. And now Minio. Minio trying to get around from Sharfstein. Good second effort with the stick, and a third effort to get the job done. Exactly up the boards. A little bit slower pace to start this third period compared to the previous 2 periods. Fairfield had that 3-on-2 a couple minutes ago, in which Cummings elected to shoot. Other than that, it's been a very quiet period so far. A lot of neutral zone work right now. Not much sustained offensive zone time. As taken down there was Heslin, but we play on. Duffy. Good stick there to get it O'Donnell. O'Donnell to Duffy, and a back-checking deflection there by Cummings, and Cummings gets shoved down by Duffy. And let's see if Duffy gets any discipline here. Cummings went down as if Duffy had a 45-pound weight in his glove. So there's the save. Cummings shoves Duffy, Duffy shoves back, and Cummings takes the fall. And both of them are going to go, and I think rightfully so there. You can get Duffy for the second shove, sure, but then you can get Cummings. Cummings looking like this was out of the a soccer game with that play there. Just a little bit of a dive, just a bit. So we'll play some open hockey here, 4-on-4. We had some power plays. Fairfield does have a power play goal, the lone power play goal of the game. It was Brendan Burke who tied the game at 5. As Dion got chased down, and now O'Donnell will go to work by himself with McKenna. McKenna wins that exchange. Now Malawepsi with Smith in front of him. Malawepsi trying to get around him in front, off a couple of sticks, and he'll go to the far side. Down to the blue line, McKenna, he's got one already. Goes to Dion to the net, scooped away by DeCanio. So they'll give roughing and cross-checking. So Cummings gets roughing, Duffy gets cross-checking. I can see roughing on both sides because Cummings threw the first shove, but Duffy, that was just another roughing. He didn't really cross-check Cummings, but still a penalty nonetheless on Duffy, though. Konkowski keeps that in. It'll be Ivers. Now Konkowski. Konkowski trying to dance his way free. Takes a stick check from Manji DeCapre. One-hand shove to McGregor. To Kravitz. Kravitz will loft one towards Konkowski. Now McGregor will throw that off the end boards. Trying to go up the middle, find a man in Burke. Had a step on Kravitz, couldn't find him. But now Burke staying with it. Under 40 left on the 4-on-4. Ivers. With Sharfstein in front of him. Sharfstein just gives him a little reach. Now it's Zach Lee besting Ivers with the poke check. Konkowski now, good strip there. Trying to dance around Burke. Burke gets the better of the exchange and gets the puck. A slow-moving third period so far is followed with a slow-moving 4-on-4. Both these teams are settling it down defensively. After the shootout we had in the first two periods, backdoor almost had Alessi right as the 4-on-4 comes to an end. So back to 5 aside. McKenna will enter, will leave for Brazel. Brazel had a man on the far side, fanned on the pass, looking for Ainella. And now a chase when a man in front, Konkowski, is stopped by Dillner. And get a little chippy again after the whistle. Konkowski having to be separated. So 11:51 left in this third period. Farmingdale trying to make it 3 straight wins and 4 straight unbeaten. A tie and 2 wins. 1 against Binghamton and 2 against Delaware in their recent 3 games for Farmingdale. Pass slides in front, nobody home. As Dion turns, fires, gets his own rebound, goes to into the slot, fans on the second try. Down low, Ainella tangled up with Quinones. It'll be Aiden Blake behind the net, goes to the blue line, McKenna. McKenna, wrister on goal, popped up on the rebound. Puck still alive, where is it? DeCanio's got it. And then a tackle down in front. Again, the chippiness continues. As now McKenna shoved up by Smith. It was Ainella who was taken down. Well, let's see if we're gonna get any discipline coming out of this one. Face-off, they're gonna say, is gonna come out of the zone. So Smith is going to go to the box for Farmingdale. Second time he's going there today. Right now it looks like it's just Smith. Actually, Smith went into the box because he thought they gave him a penalty. Now he's back on the bench. So far nobody is getting any discipline. As the officials try to sort this one out. Face-off will nonetheless still come out of the zone. So not the best way for Smith to try to plead his case. Anytime you go to the box on your own, the officials might just be like, hey, you might as well just stay there at that point. But Smith is now back on the bench. And we'll stay 5-on-5. O'Donnell at the dot with Cummings. As DeCanio will play that like a catcher in baseball, catching a pitch in the dirt. And right as that faceoff came out of the zone, it'll come back in. Mentioned Farmingdale will be back in action tomorrow against Sacred Heart. Travis Quigley will be on the call tomorrow as that one goes off the face mask. Second time today, DeCanios took one up high. And for Fairfield, they get the day off tomorrow, but they're back in action Sunday at home against Quinnipiac. And as Duffy behind the net will come out wide. Couldn't find O'Donnell in front. The puck will come around to McGregor, but he coughs it up now. Zach Lee, the defender, stepping in. Lee trying to drag around Kravitz. Kravitz with a whack. And we'll strip him of that puck. Kravitz pinned up by Cummings. And out come the Rams with O'Donnell. O'Donnell will wrap that around, perfectly so for Duffy. As Duffy took a stick up high, right to the throat, but he was kind of in a blind spot over there. It was a tough angle for the refs to see, so that's why it was not called. Long flip. And just offsides on the play was Cohen as Fairfield has iced it. And you could see the message has hit both benches going into this period. Both teams had to solidify it defensively. Not just Farmingdale's woes in the defensive zone and slowing down the rush in the neutral zone. Fairfield was letting too much time and space for Farmingdale, not cleaning up the front of their net. And this has been a slow-moving period, but as I say it, Farmingdale, right off the draw, they take the lead 6-5. And it's Thomas Ivers catching everybody sleeping. Dillner lets that one go 5-hole. And the lead is back on the side of the black and green. As Ivers will pick up his 4th goal of the year in his first collegiate season. He now has 12 points on the year as DeCanio plays that one. Farmingdale has had the lead now 3 times. It's the 3rd time with the lead. Both leads were answered immediately. Under 30 seconds the first time, under 2 minutes the second time. And the first time, not only did they cough up the lead in under 30 seconds, the game stayed tied for not even 30 seconds after the fact. As Fairfield struck back-to-back with Cullen and Zach Lee in the first period. Off the draw again, Konkowski couldn't drag and fire. As Burke will chop that up the boards, icing waved off. So Chris Keller will get an assist off the faceoff, pushing that puck forward. And good old commentator's curse, right as I'm talking about how both sides in this third period have done a sure job of shoring up their defensive zone right off the faceoff. Fairfield caught napping, and Ivers takes advantage, and Ivers picks up the puck again. Ivers around the net, lost it on the wraparound, he'll come free to Aiden Blake. Blake to Burke, Burke will dump that in, Blake on the chase. Blake from the goal line off the side of the cage. As it comes to the point, McKenna, who got this game started 1-0 a long time ago. That was 10 goals ago, McKenna scored. They got a man down the ice, and Konkowski, can he get it? McKenna beats him to it. Konkowski is offsides. He has to go back to the bench. Escaping the hip check is Sharfstein in front looking for Brazel, and it was off a skate as Blake goes to the blue line, thrown to the goal, and smothered by DeCanio. Nice shifty move on the far side boards by Robert Sharfstein. Sharpstein and Brodsell have had a very strong game offensively. Just have yet to connect. They had a 2-on-1 in the second period. You had Brodsell in front moments ago. As they win the draw, Majina Capre's shot is blocked. And Lee gets the puck from Signoretti, and we'll get an offensive zone draw again for Fairfield. Puck sits at the dot, comes free for Cummings, and that shot was blocked aside. That one ripped up the boards, off the glass, comes free. Nice move by Cummings, but gets sicked away. They'll be helped out by a dancing Dion. Dion still with it, gets chopped away by Bridgewood. Mendato gets shoved off the puck, still with it on the backhand, was able to strip Thomas Smith. And Dion pinching in, gets from Signoretti in front. Pad save, rebound to Canio. They poke away at it. Whistle blown. Scrum ensues. No goal called. And we got to pull away some red and black jerseys. As Bridgewood getting in the face right now. Cummings still in the thick of things in front. And if you're Signoretti there for the Rams on the near side boards there, you got to be stronger on that puck. Just one-handed, kind of like a half-hearted attempt on the boards, and Dion just stepped right in. I believe it was Dion, stepped right in and easily picked that puck up, which led to the chance in front. Face-off cleanly won by Fairfield. They've done a very strong job in the offensive zone tonight, winning those draws. Kravitz pinned up on the boards, able to recover. Lorico to Duffy. That puck comes out. Kravitz will bank that off a stick and into the Fairfield bench. So the shot's still in favor for Fairfield, 35-21. Fairfield now has double-digit shots in every period. They're up to 11 in this period, 10 in the second, and 14 in the first. Going to the high slot, Duffy curls, fires, rebound alive, and can't put much on it was Lorico. Puck got behind him. Now he backhand one off the back of the net. It'll be Majina Capre now. Trying to go into the feet, up ice, finds a man in Cohen off the bar. Brandon Cohen looking for his second of the game, and a penalty coming up against Farmingdale. I believe it's going to be Lorico on the trip, and yes, it will be. So Farmingdale, a team that historically wise has had issues with penalties. This year has been relatively good with them, but today it's been, after that first period, been quite a little bit of an issue. They have coughed up a power play goal, and they'll go back to the kill again. Face-off one in the offensive zone again by Fairfield. Burns will rip that up the boards from one knee and get the job done. Be Matthew Dion behind his own cage. And now takes it out the center. Dion has been not afraid today to take this one on his own from his own end. Meets a big hit on the boards, but gets some help from Brodsell. And now McKenna has to play it off a skate. A play catch with Aiden Blake. McKenna walks the line. Wrister deflected wide. Fairfield still with it. Dion walks, fires, and a save made by DeCanio. So Dion, another noticeable shift this time on the power play. But DeCanio coming out to the top of his crease with the challenge, not giving Dion much room to shoot. as Farmingdale and Fairfield will get a fresh special teams unit on each side. Kravitz surrounded by 3 red jerseys in the corner, eventually coughs it up to Cullen, to the blue line kid. And now Zach Lee. Lee looking across for Cullen, trying to swing it like a baseball bat. And that won't be sent all the way down. Under 5 minutes left in the game. It's been a back and forth, high-scoring affair here on the island. In the second matchup of the year between these two Empire Conference rivals. First game, these two teams met earlier in the season, went to Farmingdale 5-3 at home. They're up 6-5. They got to kill off 30 more seconds of a power play. Cullen, wrister, swallowed again by DeCanio. So 4:25 left in the game, 23 seconds left on the Lorico tripping penalty. Another win. Easy way to set up your power play. Win the draw. They've won every single one on this power play. Cullen, tough angled shot. Rifles one out of play. And if you're Fairfield, not the worst thing in the world going out of play on that shot that was deflected out. Because they just keep winning the offensive zone draws. They look to do another one. It will be Malawepsi at the dot. Face-off one, Fairfield. Convincing at the dot today. They go down low to Cullen. Cullen looks to the slot, can't find Burke. 4 seconds left in the man advantage. Malawepsi now. Goes in front, nobody home. Right off the bench is Signoretti. Luciano Signoretti, shot on goal, stick save. Dillner doesn't know where it is. It's on the near side corner. Stick goes flying there from Cummings. He has to go pick it up. That puck sent in. Friendly fire in front of Fairfield's bench. Collision with Cullen and Lee. Three and a half right now left in the game. Farmingdale's 1-goal lead. Their 1-goal lead helped out by a third period goal by Thomas Ivers right off the faceoff. Went 5-hole on Dillner. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Farmingdale this year so far, third periods have gotten dicey. A 3-0 third period lead in the season opener against Fordham turned to a 3-2 lead, and eventually they held on. 5-1 lead in the third period against Fairfield. This season already turned into a 5-3 lead and then eventually a 5-3 win. A 6-5 late third period lead against Binghamton 2 weeks ago turned into a 6-6 tie. And they hold on here. They got 3 more minutes to do it. It's going to be a long 3 minutes, especially with the way today's gone. With the way today's game has gone, should I say. Burns able to chip that in at the red line. This could be Farmingdale's motto for the rest of the game. 1 man deep, 2 forwards at the red line, 2 defensemen at the blue line. Lorico in a battle with Mandato. Burns banked that one off the boards. As William Kidd will play it, got to start to keep an eye on Dillner in net. Farmingdale, good defensive system right now, making life hard for Fairfield entering the zone. Good forecheck by Sharfstein. But again, it's hard to get the puck in deep with a limited forecheck. Farmingdale's going to keep taking it behind their cage and throwing it off the glass and out. So far, so good for the Rams. This puck will not go for an icing as it will come to Dillner. Fairfield struggling to enter the zone. The pace of play has significantly slowed down, not just right now, this entire third period. As they'll enter with Aiden Blake, he gets poked away by Kravitz, and Ivers will send it out of the zone. Can't get Dillner to the bench if you're Fairfield. They're struggling to maintain the, not just maintain the zone, enter the zone. Minute and a half to go. Another neutral zone turnover by Fairfield. Rinse and repeat for Farmingdale. Again, sticking with this 1-2-2. Bouncing puck. There's McGregor. They'll do the same exact thing. Off the boards and out. Konkowski overskates it. Gets some help, though, from Keller. Keller, nice dance at the red line. We'll throw that towards the goal. Blocked down. Nice move around one. Second chance, and it goes in. Keller, what a goal! Chris Keller starts from the red line, works his way in tight. The solo effort pays off, and it's 7-5 Farmingdale. So Chris Keller, the freshman out of East Aurora, New York, went into last weekend at Delaware with no goals on the year. Gets his first two, and then looks to have the dagger with 1:01 left in the game. So it looked like it was going to be an innocent play at the red line. Konkowski overskates it, but then the puck pinballed around, and I believe it went to McGregor. McGregor then got it to Keller, and it looked like Keller was just going to get that puck in deep, but no. He danced around one man at the red line, got around another man in the offensive zone, and the second chance rebound punched it home for the 7-5 lead. So the first shot was blocked, one-hand drag around a man in Dion. First try won't go, but the second try will. So Farmingdale, it's been a tough game defensively, but in the third period, both these teams played much better in their own end and in the neutral zone. And Farmingdale, once they got this lead, they really clamped it down. Empty net right now for Fairfield, 6-on-5. They need 2. Duffy causes a turnover. It's a wide open net, and he scores. Tim Duffy ices this one for the Rams. It's 8-5, and for Duffy, the hat trick goal. So Duffy, who comes into this game with 2 goals on the year, gets the nail in the coffin for his hat trick goal tonight. So Farmingdale, with now 30 seconds left in the game, will likely hold on for the win. It's just a matter of what the final will look like. An 8-goal output for the Rams, a team that's averaging 5.4 per game. The Rams will hold on and go to 6-1-1 on the season. They will drop Fairfield to 2-3. Burke to Cohen with a chance for another, and it's stopped by DeCanio with 2.3 left. So Duffy has a 4-point night, 3 goals and an assist. And then you have 4 other Rams in multi-point categories: O'Donnell, Ivers, Keller, and Konkowski. And the marathon comes to an end. It's an 8-5 win at home for Farmingdale. So the Rams, a team that coughed up the lead twice, and both times almost instantaneously, they get the lead here in the third. Thomas Ivers with the game winner that made it 6-5 and shut it down. Clamping in that neutral zone, giving no daylight for the Stags. And it was a great individual effort, one for the highlight reel for Chris Keller to make it 7-5, and then right off the draw with the net empty, Duffy ends it with this hat-trick goal to make it 8-5. Like we mentioned, Farmingdale will be back in action tomorrow. You'll have Travis Quigley on the call on LI Sportsnet against Sacred Heart. And for Fairfield, they will have the day off tomorrow. Then they'll go back home Sunday to play against Empire Conference rival Quinnipiac. For the final time tonight, live at the Northwell Health Ice Center on Long Island, New York. My name is Jordan DeLuciano on the LI Sports Network. Thanks for joining us. Farmingdale wins this one against Fairfield 8-5. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and good night, everyone.